And in conversation with Mr. Pelletier, have been informed that it is due for failure to comply with conditions that were set at our June 15, 2017 meeting. There is an error in that claim. I have complied with the orders that were set forth. I submitted a letter of reasonable assurance to the Board of Health office on July 3rd, 2017. Another copy is included here. I have also contacted the Office of the Board of Health via telephone and advised that the process of the sale is moving forward and there are no changes to report. In conversation with Mr. Pelletier on September 14th, he too was advised of all these things, as well as being informed that a hearing date for the transfer of the license has been scheduled for September 28, 2017. Upon approval of the transfer and approval from the ABCC, I will no longer own the business and property. At no point have I ignored the board's agreement and apologize if there have been any misunderstandings or miscommunications. Attached to this letter, to the Southbridge Board of Health from Joseph Finnegan, letter of reasonable assurance. As a result of our meeting, and this is dated July 3rd, 2017. As a result of our meeting on June 15, 2017, FSD Realty agreed at the board's request to provide this letter of reasonable assurance. This letter ensures the board that in the event of the sale of 190 to 200 Mechanic Street, Southbridge, from FS Realty to Plaza Realty is unsuccessful, that the repairs to the roof will be completed immediately upon receipt of the non-refundable deposit presently held in escrow. So that is a letter of assurance from Mr. Finnegan. Literally, Mr. Finnegan promising that he will comply with the requirements if the sale falls through. Also, there is a schedule for next Thursday, the 28th, for a transfer of the liquor license. So that is as much update as I have in my hands. I can tell you, I've been in the building, the conditions are as they were before. There's been no improved conditions.
So it is scheduled for the 28th.
They are scheduled before the liquor board of Southbridge.
Did he notify the board during the month of August of the conditions of the purchase and sale?
These are the only documents we have.
That was the issue.
I remember the insurance letter. I know the P&S was done. So, or at least it's going through. Scheduled date,
I don't have any copy of the PNS.
you won't give us, we saw it.
So we have a statement from Mr. Finnegan saying, yes, the sale is going through. No confirmation from the other person, no purchase and sale agreement.
Andy, how many times has he been fined or cited or, I mean, he's owned this business since 2000, but there's nothing been done in that building, so what?
This is the first time I have brought it before the board. Again, I've only been here,
I don't mean
I
to
won't
throw
say
you
only,
right there.
I've been
I remember
here
you
for 4
gave us
years.
one.
We have, since I've been here, probably 4 to 5 inspections of the property, discounting re-inspections, but
Can we simplify this? Can we just ask for him to appear at our next board meeting?
We can.
And either the property will have been sold by then, or we would have him here and we would have a discussion about going forward at that point. Because if the property gets sold, then we're wasting our time here. Because there's nothing, we're not gonna do.
Did we discuss this in June, July, the same thing?
Well, the question, I don't know whether we took a vote on it.
We allowed him to come back, we made a motion, allowed him to come back once a month, or call us, voicemail, whatever.
I understand, but what do you want to do? I'm just saying, if we say he's got to come back next month.
You say how long he was gone for? Delaware?
does not say it in the letter. He's just going down to Delaware to see his son deployed.
Can you do emergency?
Can we do an emergency meeting after the 28th?
It wouldn't be an emergency meeting, it would be a special meeting. Actually, it wouldn't even be a special meeting if we scheduled the meeting today. It would be the next scheduled meeting of the Board Be
Okay.
very careful. We just had a hearing on solid waste, and we said that we will take it up at our next scheduled meeting. So if we, because we committed to that, if we schedule a meeting, we will be holding that event too. So if you want to have a meeting just for solid waste, if you want to have a meeting just to address the solid waste issue as a sole agenda item, then I would be very careful to post this one after that.
Want to make something? Next scheduled meeting? The difference between the 28th and the 15th. What do you want to do?
I can advise that if we go to the week after the 28th, we'll at least have some update on the license. I know we don't want to give them free rein and loose rope, but at least we will know in which direction it's going at that time.
So let's go that, if the 28th next week, if we set our board, that would leave us, the 5th would be the following, and we could hold the, what's that? The 12th?
We'll get it like do out of this.
Well, that one.
The 12th, Acapulco? Are you around the 12th? What's that? Well, one of you've got to make a recommendation, so.
Look at me on this
I
one.
know, it's just, I'm
So I'm
waiting.
making a motion to shut them down.
I second the
There's a
motion.
motion.
For non-compliance.
For non-compliance.
Can I say something? I got a question. I think hello?
Not yet. Doesn't have a second. Doesn't have a second yet. Okay. Doesn't have a second. We're not, it did not get a second. Wait. All right, you want to say? Well, I'll make a motion that we hold a hearing at our next scheduled meeting. We can do both at the same time. Solid waste in this. I don't think we need to have two separate meetings. This will be quick. This would be a yes or a no. This could be nothing, or it could be quick. In which case you might get what you want at that point.
Not worried about it.
Anyway,
It's
Elizabeth? Okay. Anything yet? Yep. Discussion?
Discussion, it's got three problems. I live across the street, so I have a real issue with this also. I have to look at it every day. It's blight, it's connected to blight just like the other thing was. It draws crime. There's prostitution in the parking lots and there's crime.
Okay,
The building looks like hell. Nobody can look at it. That building can't be structurally fine.
Okay.
I can't even believe it's named Liberties. I don't believe it's, the
Okay,
name
we're
is
not-
a problem.
we're concerned about the leaking roof and
Believe me.
the health concerns.
It's
Right
moldy
now,
inside.
Not about, right now, the focus is on the conditions of the violation of the
My
conditions.
point is, I don't think the sale of the building is gonna change any of those things.
Understood. Yeah,
I have a comment. I believe this matter has been brought up quite a few times before the board, and he has had numerous times to appear to the board. And I believe back in April or May, when I first came to the board with my issue, this was brought up. Here we are again, 4 or 5 months later, not resolved issue. You need to come together as a board and make a decision. You give him 7 days' notice. How much notice did he give you saying that he could not appear here?
okay, thank you.
That sounds fair, that
3
the
days.
board should give him the same amount of time.
Okay,
Thank you.
Justin?
Yeah, my concern is how would this impact Thai Orchid?
What?
Thai Orchid?
Okay,
It doesn't.
yeah,
With the
but,
sale or?
Well,
or
the sale, I mean, the
building?
fact that if there's health issues in the building, and there's a tenant in the building that's running a restaurant,
It's-
They're separate.
They're
I wouldn't
separate.
either.
are they owned by separate individuals?
The-
I mean, I know
the
they have
building-
separate businesses, I know that,
the
but-
issue
But it's the
is
same
a leaking,
structure, so-
is a leaking roof on on the,
On the B side, it's not, there's no problems on the hierarchy.
Right.
Good, good.
Okay,
I don't want it to get, I don't want somebody else's negligence to get them in trouble, you know, have problems with them, so.
okay,
It's not fair with that.
all right, well, let's move forward on this. What was the motion? Do you remember? The motion is
The
to.
motion was to continue this hearing until the next meeting when we can bring Mr. Fitting in. Next scheduled meeting. It was seconded by Elizabeth Stevens.
Okay, all right, what's that? You want to rescind your motion and come up with a different one?
She can't, you made a motion.
You can be simple.
What are our options before, what are our options? Can we call it in can have it at our next meeting? Could that be a meeting to shut them down? What are our options at our next hearing?
Anytime this board meets as a group
Yeah,
and this issue is before them, they can shut them down.
all right.
If that's the option they wish to exercise.
So the letter can reflect the fact that we are considering that what the letter to Lippy's would be that we're considering action
On their license.
on their license, okay? So I'd like to make that motion that we hold an action on their license. What's that?
No, just,
Wait a minute, have we withdrawn the last motion yet?
I withdraw the last motion,
Withdraw.
and I'll make a note that we hold a hearing on the actions of the
Go back to your.
actions on Lippy. So not just a hearing, but we're actually going to take action, not just listen to the reasons. Second,
so wait, where are we back to now? So
we're still having the same thing, but the meeting is not just to have him in to talk. This is a
Okay.
meeting to take action against his license. Okay?
all right,
All right. So
that's better.
the second, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay,
So
2-1
Dave Williams motions to schedule a hearing
to take action.
to determine what action should be, to take action on the license.
Well, however the wording needs to be official, you know what that the hearing, it's a hearing to see whether we're going to,
Okay, and we are scheduling that hearing for the next scheduled meeting?
schedule it, yeah. And at which point he'll either have sold the bill or we will have a conversation.
Not, you won't be able to sell it there. You will buy some stuff with this.
Anyway, we'll see what happens at that point. Okay? All right, let's close that up. And let's go 7:45, application to remove beavers and dam affected by Gulfwood Road.
Feel I should have something here.
You did nice pictures. Who took those nice pictures? The swamp. You know which one's my house?
The last one, road, right?
Yeah, last one.
Just before I get to the road, I think the, it was buried.
That's it. All right. So, if you can introduce yourselves, sorry, Gus?
I just want to call a point of order here. I think that, I don't know if you can hold a hearing right now, you can only get 2 readings.
So, Andy?
And you have 2 members that are
I need
out.
to know what you're doing before we have a quorum of the board right now.
We
No,
have,
What do we
we
do?
cannot vote by law.
I can't vote, so the correct term is not recuse, but to what?
Well, you
Abstain.
yeah.
I can abstain. So it would still have a quorum of the board, but I would abstain from voting, so unless it had 2 votes.
So what does the law say? Would it be
So
a
prior
majority
to
of the
moving
board?
forward with the hearing, I would ask the board to consider. What would I ask the board to consider? Voting. And
What does the law say?
a
as far as-
majority, if if I may, a majority vote is normally required, I'm gonna read 2 pages here. A majority vote is normally required to adopt a motion or to elect an office. So we are not doing that. A 2/3 vote is required in particular circumstances, most notably to suspend rules or impose limits. Majority of the entire membership, I'm sorry, I read it in here, a majority vote is different from a plurality vote. Give me a second, I'm sorry. Okay, there may be fewer votes. We have a quorum.
You don't have a quorum for this issue.
A majority vote is normally required to adopt a motion or to elect to office. It is defined as more than half of the votes cast by the person entitled to vote, including blanks or absenteeism. At a regular or properly called meeting. So we have more than half the votes. If Mr. Williams abstains,
Yes. Including absenteeism.
Out of order.
That means they cannot meet.
a majority vote is normally required to adopt a motion or to elect office that is defined as more than half of the votes cast by persons entitled to vote, excluding blanks or abstentions at a regular or properly called meeting. There may be fewer votes cast than the number of members present, since some may choose not to vote, resulting in abstentions. So there may be fewer votes cast than the number of members present. Only the majority of those actually voting is required. So I will leave it to the board. If, for example, there are 10 members present at a meeting, and 4 votes in favor of a motion, while 3 against it, the 4 votes in favor are the majority of the 7 votes cast, and the motion is therefore adopted. So there may be fewer votes cast than the number of members present, since some may choose not to vote. That is allowed. So we have a quorum here. Mr. Williams is opting not to vote. So I will leave it to the board to determine, based on that, do we have a quorum? Do we have a voting right?
Is he opting not to vote or can he not vote?
You can't.
I can't, but right off, bring up a good point.
Well,
I want to first hand over,
I'm just-
I want to just hand over, I want to hand over the gavel.
Is there a law here about what a number of votes are for this kind of permit? I don't know. I'm asking.
No,
I don't know.
it's just a board of health, a majority of the board of health.
Of the
But I'm gonna,
Of the entire board or of those who are present?
And
That's what I'm
that's
asking.
the question.
If it's
So,
the entire board, there is no way you can pass.
There may be fewer votes cast
Which means
than
you want to
the
vote.
number of members present, since some may choose not to vote.
But that's Robert's rules as opposed to the law says. The law trumps Robert's rules always.
I concur.
That's why I'm asking.
Our meetings are held according to Robert's rules.
I'm officially handing the gavel over to you. I should not be commenting and trying to bias the conversation one way or the other.
Based on what is
Can you
correct.
not comment as a citizen?
Not-
You
just
absolutely
cannot
can.
vote.
He can't come up here.
You cannot vote. You
Right,
cannot vote
yes.
anyway.
I've seen other boards do that. You can come up here.
Did we just not vote on other
No,
things? or
we
what?
didn't vote for anything. That's not, we're in discussion as to whether or not we can actually vote according to the law.
You can even have this hearing at the moment.
Because our 4th board member is not
And this is
present.
where we were last December, thank you very much. And you dropped the ball for the next 9 months. And
We
at
have-
the
this
last
is not
meeting,
here.
you told us if they had the permits, if they got the
That's
cards, what is the problem?
That's
It's already
correct.
voted on
Our
and approved.
board-
And
No, it's actually not. It has to be voted by the Board of
I
Health.
think
with
it's a
permits
farce.
and everything. The issue is our 4th member is not here, so we may or may not have a majority to be able to vote to kind of be a valid legal vote.
Did we not know this in advancement? Like,
We were notified approximately 20 minutes before the meeting that. the
okay, so
quorum
we've
would
all
show.
sat here this long and you guys knew that there wouldn't be a vote and you couldn't have enough respect for the citizens to say anything?
There was some hope that she would, that our fourth member potentially could show up. That's what we were kind of waiting for.
And we also, I'm sorry, Chair. We also believe that we would have the right to, as long as I abstain from the vote, that we still have a majority of the board here, that as long as I abstain, because consider that two people would still have to vote in favor of it right now for it to pass, and I abstaining makes this a quorum, that we have a quorum, but both members would have to agree, and that would be the majority of the board.
Well, when the fourth member said she wasn't gonna be here, did anybody look into it as far as whether you could have a
Remember,
vote?
we knew about less than an hour before the board meeting. Okay, and so we pulled out Robert's rules. We figured, okay, we can, yes, it feels like deja vu all over again. And we were hoping to be able to take this vote, today.
So what sits before the board right now is, based on what was read and what's been presented here, the board has to make a determination if they can move forward on this or if they have to move forward.
Is this a situation where the rule of necessity can be invoked?
I didn't hear you.
Is
The
this a
rule of
situation where
necessity.
the rule of necessity can be invoked?
That we can act.
Which would allow Dave to vote. Because otherwise you don't have.
I think the rule of necessity applies because this is,
I don't
Let's
know.
vote and get it done.
So,
The board would have to make that determination and propose it.
my humble opinion is that we take the vote and then we see if we somehow maybe shouldn't have taken the vote. That would be, that maybe we're proven wrong, that we invoke we invoke the rule of necessity and move forward.
And by what was read, you have 3 out of 4 here, even if you abstain.
Right, the problem
And
is
if you want to
we have-
relinquish and speak as a citizen, but Robert's rules always said also that the chairman breaks a tie.
There won't be any
except-
time.
except
If there's no
the
tie,
chairman can't
we
vote.
should vote, move on, get the mission done.
Unless these two vote in favor of it, it's done, because I can't break the tie, so.
Right.
And even if I could vote, that would just be one vote anyway, two would win. So I think, my suggestion is that we hold the hearing, but that's,
As long as it's legal.
Good
I
answer.
the thing is,
Here.
I came in here this evening with the understanding that we're gonna be able to vote,
Right,
all right? So these citizens over here, at the same time, I'm under the impression, now we're not sure what the heck is going on. They had the right to know about this too, if we're just reading this right now. So unfortunately, our fourth member, a couple hour before, told us not. As long as it's legal, I'm all for it. If it's not legal,
that's the question.
so,
It has to be a decision of the board on the interpretation of Robert's rules, of which I read.
then
can I vote on that?
Why not?
Yes.
It's my
I make a-
understanding the town manager is calling the,
Attorney.
some legal counsel to find out because this board can't decide.
Okay, I make a motion that we hold the hearing.
I'll second.
You gotta-
He seconded it.
Hang on. Well, you're the chair, so you gotta.
You gotta move it.
All right. All right, well,
All right.
we'll do it.
All right,
Wait a minute.
I haven't had a vote yet.
Motion, seconded,
I know.
discussion,
Dis-
vote.
Any discussion? We've been having discussion.
Okay,
Right.
so
have to have a vote.
we have to vote.
Move it. So call for a vote.
All right, let's vote. All in favor?
Okay. And we may find out in 15 minutes that we don't. Well, let's continue that we can.
Okay. Mr. Gerard,
Good evening.
hello.
So, for those of you who do not know me, I'm Todd Gerard, the Town of Charlton's Conservation Agent. This is Malcolm Spiker. He is the trapper with Beaver Specialists. This evening, we're before you to do, I'm having a hard time hearing with people speaking behind me.
Okay.
Okay.
So, this evening, we're here to discuss Gulfwood Road, the progress we've made so far, and the application for a 10-day emergency traffic permit. So far, we've gone to both Charlton and Southbridge Conservations and DEP. We've received all our go-aheads. We have 2 orders of conditions, and we started lowering the water on Monday. We lowered the dam probably about 3 to 4 inches this week, and we're making positive progress. Today's the first day that I found a secondary dam, and now I found that's where the beaver activity's going on. So they weren't coming back to the dam that I'm working on presently, because they're upstream at another location where we already have a previous beaver seer. Right now, we're at our point where we're requesting a 10-day trapping permit to begin on Monday, because we believe conditions are ideal. My contractor believes that would be the perfect time to begin this, and it's working right in line with our drawdown period to de-water the road and get the engineering team out to evaluate both of them. And that's pretty much the update that I have.
So you've lowered it 3 to 4 inches this week. How long do you think it's going to take for you to lower the?
Oh, so we got about 3 feet to lower it. And we
Okay,
lower
well, that's what I'm
it-
asking.
Yeah, so
I'm
we
just
lower it
trying
an
to-
inch, about an inch a day, so it's about a month.
Okay.
And we can chase the beavers concurrently.
Yes.
Correct.
One thing the church did ask is we don't trap on Sunday. That's why I want to start on Mondays. Because I lose 2 days by not trapping on Sundays.
Well, because you're going through their property, you're going.
Yes, and I'll respect that. If we would start tomorrow, then I would set one night, have to snap on Saturday, come back Monday and reset. I lose 2 nights. That's why I'm requesting that.
No,
Start.
Good name, sir. Yes.
Malcolm Spiker, SPEICHER.
And so, oh, actually, I do have another question. So they're not living in the dam that
What they are, they're just,
they were,
they're responding to the stimulus at tomorrow morning, they'll probably move down and start where I've been working. They're thinking that their first dam is reached right now. So they're working on that one, because we've lowered the water down to that one. Once they stop that one, and the water's still going, they'll move down to me. So, and I'll be moving up to them, because finally I can, at 6'2", the water's still over my head. My weight is really that high. But once we get the water down, we'll start moving forward.
Why 3 feet? What's the magic? You said you're gonna lower it to 3 feet.
A picture's worth 1,000 words.
Is
Well,
that-
it's it's the actual height of the beaver dam. So there's so if you look at that photograph, you can see the height of the dam behind it is about as high as my waist.
Oh, so that's like the natural
Yep,
water.
that'll get us right back down to the bottom channel of the brook. that
Okay,
was the
that's why
original
3
brook
feet. I
channel.
was wondering where that number was coming from.
You'll find multiple more dams.
There's what, there's like 12 of them there.
Well,
I don't know.
last time I was in there doing an evaluation, I knew there was 7.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
yeah.
And so do you think that, I mean, I know you're here for an emergency taking permit. If you're losing 2 days, you can't trap on Sundays. I mean, do you fully expect to be able to trap all these beavers in 10 days?
Yes. We'll be done.
And you still don't have a number as to how many beavers are in there, right?
The best number I can give you right now is somewhere between 12 and 14. And now we're just scooting around with a canoe. And the bulrushes and it's that phragmite is awful high. Once we start taking more water away from the secondary basically the main dam, we're at a secondary dam. And it's just found that's one of the main dams. I did take the time to walk out on the Southbridge side today. I was over at the hospital with a friend, and I had some time to kill, so I did put my lights on, parked in front of areas and walked out. You can see that yellow line, and right where the culvert is, there's probably about 2 inches of water left on the road. Yeah. But there's a lot of beaver activity right up by the road, chew sticks of it.
I have one question.
Yes.
How many beavers are gonna be left? I mean, do you
There
know?
will be none
Zero.
when we leave.
No.
I will not guarantee that within 3 weeks you won't have another turnout. Because we have this saying in my business that an empty beaver house and an open beaver dam, because we've only reached so much, we can't take the whole thing out, is the same as Section 8 housing. And that's the way they work.
Got it. So I have,
What's that?
We met on this issue, we opened a hearing on this issue months ago. The board said that they would act on this upon a complete submittal of application, also board documents. So I wish to present that we did get a completed application for the activity. We have a certificate of liability insurance for the trapper to go in and conduct the trapping. We have a agreement between the town and the owner of the property to enter, and we have a permit completely filled out and ready to be signed upon positive vote if the board votes to take action. So the submittals are complete as far as the office is concerned.
You're starting at, what day were you planning?
25th Monday.
On Monday, and so that gives you only one Sunday, you'll only miss
I missed one Sunday, but
routine.
I employ 3 guys. We'll be done. We'll be done.
Oh, did you want to see this?
nope, already, thank you.
Just checking. Any further discussion, any questions? I don't do this.
Entertain a motion.
You're pinching me all the time.
Well, that's because you don't move things along, and now I'm not, so give me a break here. So I just want to say that I have had problems with this whole situation, and I don't necessarily agree with it. But I will vote today, but I can't guarantee what my vote would be again if you come back. So, that said, anyone want to entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve the permit.
I can't say.
All right, I'll second.
I would, I'm gonna get stone thrown at me right now. As the town manager is investigating into the legalities of this vote, I would recommend we wait, and if we don't have an answer by the end of the meeting, hold the vote per the opinion of the board. But since it is being researched through a legal,
Okay, he
It
told
might
me
be
he was
worth
gonna speak, he was on his way to speak to someone, whether this has happened, I don't know, so I can't.
Oh, he would be back here if he
I would suggest, since we did seek legal advice, we at least give the town manager ample opportunity to do this before we take a vote that could possibly put the town in a lawsuit.
Isn't that your job as well?
What's
The
that?
legalities of what happens in a meeting?
Excuse me?
Is that not your job as well, to know the legalities of the running of the meeting and the consensus and who has,
Well, no, me
majority
too, but it-
rules versus Robert rules?
It depends on how you want to interpret the laws. because there's several different
So
ways
that's
to
the
interpret them.
factor, did you not already tell us that you were going to approve this, if you got the, you got the right permits, they've got the green cards, that we've done everything, these men have worked very hard, and aren't you going against what you said to us
I
in a meeting back in
understand your
May?
frustration. You think I'm not upset that my fellow board member didn't show up tonight? I'm very upset about that. This doesn't, I don't like this. I would much rather just have a vote and be done with it. But if it's not a legal vote, then that causes a
So
problem.
I don't like the fact that these people in the town of Southbridge and the residents, especially on our road and Enfield Road, have had to wait since last December that you guys would even make a motion, because I was the one that opened my
Yeah,
mouth and called somebody. And here we
That
are,
has not
2
been-
months later,
that has not been our
everything in
issue.
order,
This
and
is
you're still
only-
not voting.
You gotta understand that frustration.
No, I
This is-
understand.
This
I
has been terrible.
understand.
Dave, get it.
It's not mine.
So then, and then now we wait for the next Board of Health meeting, and you've got other discussions that we're gonna be voted out again or pushed off again, and then it's gonna be too late that you can't
So,
even utilize the permits.
So let me just chime in here. We had a hearing, we had a discussion. By all accounts, if everything works out legally, you know, if everything is fine, understand, we had no control over certain aspects of it. Just let me finish, okay? Understand, I live on that road too, okay? That we will more than likely, and as Ms. Stevens has said, more than likely we'll have vote in favor of this. If what comes back is what we are doing is legal. Voting in favor of it and then finding out that it is not legal then puts us in another bind. So we would rather have waited for the town manager to have walked into the room before